Okay. Hey, Jem.
Hi.
Hi. So tonight we're discussing energy, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, we wanted to discuss this because obviously our actions are like they have a big impact on people, our behavior and our words. But what I've realized is that it's not just about your actions and your words, it's also about your energy, and that you
Yeah.
could be not saying anything or doing anything, just sat reading a book looking fine, but the energy, because you're judging yourself or abandoning yourself in some way, the
Yeah.
energy is very low. I don't know whether you've ever felt that, Jem, where you've kind of not been angry or withdrawn, but you've just been in a normal space, but your energy has been like on the floor.
Yeah. It's sort of like when you know something's like there's something that you're doing or
Yeah.
not doing, and you need to sort of probably have a little rain check about how you're feeling and why
Yes.
you're in that way.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Definitely. And it's like a bit of a, you just know you don't feel right in some way,
Yeah.
and it's very subtle. Like it's not like it's loud and screaming at you, it's just
Hmm.
really subtle.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it for me when what'll happen is my energy will change, and I'll notice that I'm not as close to like my partner or my friends.
Yeah.
They will just be kind of a bit distant, but
Yeah.
nothing's happened. But what when I spoke to Dr. Margaret, she said that it's because your energies are not on the same level in that moment.
Yeah. So the vibrations
Yes.
completely off.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you're in a high vibration and someone else is, you'll be like drawn to each other. But
Yeah.
also when you're in a low vibration as someone else is, you could also be drawn to each other from like the woundedness could draw
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
together.
So you can sort of like wallowing together,
Yeah.
or being productive, and so it can have a negative um, effect, can't it, if you don't actually recognise that your vibration, your energy is
Is low.
messed up. Yeah, low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because mine feels like that today. It's probably like hormones and like things going on, and the weather here is literally just gone dull all of a sudden, and it
Oh, wow.
really affects us over here
Mm.
because it's like 1 minute the sun's out and everything's positive, and next minute it feels like and everyone
Yeah.
goes into this sort of slump.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it does do that, the weather, because I don't know. I think because it's nature and it's kind of connected, it is energy, like nature is energy, like the rain, the wind,
Yeah.
the storms, the sun. It's all about energy and how it connects together.
Yeah.
So I think when it changes something within us at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's good to notice when you're feeling like low, like as in
Yeah.
not
If something
sad.
needs to be done, you need to do something, don't you? It's like a warning.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically like saying to you, right, you need to slow down, or you need to do something, do a bit of self-care or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, because yeah, it really, and it can affect everyone around you as well, because even though
Yeah. Yeah.
they won't they won't know that there's something wrong, because it's,
Mhm.
you're not saying anything or doing anything, you've just been normal, but they'll feel something, and if they're very in tune with their feelings, they'll know that there's something wrong with you in your energy, and they'll be able
Yeah.
to get like click on it. But a lot of people don't know, so they're like, they start to feel down and low, but they don't know why, they don't understand what,
Yeah.
like
That
what's
happens in
happening.
our house a lot. everyone's energy bouncing off each other, and it's like it does affect you, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
People and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, we've got to learn to realise that, you know, not sort of take on other people's energy unless it's actually helping us, like, and
Yes.
maybe be more selective of how we deal with that energy around us,
Yeah, exactly.
not
And
be
also, like,
consumed by it.
when it's, if it does make us, say for example, we were feeling fine, like completely like good and happy and joyful, and then all of a sudden we just feel low for no, like, we don't realize why. That's when we need to go inside and ask, like do an inner bonding process or a meditation, and ask ourselves, what's going on inside me, like what am I doing or saying, or am I picking up on someone's energy? Because you might not be abandoning yourself, but when you ignore that low feeling, that is self-abandonment. So
Yeah,
if you listen to it, it could just be that your partner or your son or your daughter or whoever you live with, or it could even be a friend, and but because you're energetically connected to your friends, the close people to you, they could be on the other side of the world and you could feel an energy shift because of them, like
yeah,
you can feel it.
yeah,
um,
yeah,
so it's really
yeah,
important to like go inside and check in with yourself, if it's something that you're doing or if it's information that you're getting from other people's energy.
yeah, yeah, because you can even feel it through text message and everything, can't you? You know,
Yes.
if you're in tuned with it.
Yeah, it's
It
you
can,
can't
yeah,
hide
it
it,
can be,
you
yeah.
can't, and it affects the dynamic of a relationship, because if you're, for example, judging yourself, saying I'm not good enough, I'm not a good partner, and he doesn't love me or she doesn't love me, you might be sat next to them on the couch watching a film, laughing and joking, but you're still judging yourself. They will pick up on that energy no matter what is being on the external, and they'll feel like they want to pull away from you,
Yeah,
because it's not a nice feeling, that low energy. If that other
yeah,
person is high energy, they won't want to be around you, and they
yeah,
might not understand why. So it's good for people as well, if it is in a relationship, or with your children or whoever you're living with, you just feel like you don't want to be around them. Check in with your emotions, because it could be that they're in a low energy place
yeah,
and you just don't want to be around it at the moment. It doesn't mean there's
yeah.
anything wrong, it just means
Or you
that,
might be able to do something to help,
yeah, exactly,
like,
like,
you know, yeah. Because if
yeah,
you've recognised it or felt it, sometimes people, like, you know, when people say you're okay, and
yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'm fine, but you're not fine because you're really stressed, but you're just thinking, oh, I don't think anyone noticed.
But yeah, but they do. It's so funny. They do, like, you do notice, and then I used to get a bit I would get bothered by it myself, because I'd start to feel like, why am I feeling like this? But it's just, you have to kind of accept that everyone's on their own journey and their energy isn't always going to be like really high. Sometimes it's going to
Yeah,
be low,
exactly.
and you have to take responsibility for keeping your energy high. You can't really focus on theirs.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, that's when we start blaming other people for how we feel.
Yes.
When actually, no, we're responsible for it, like we did in the other talk.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, it's connected to that as well. Have
yeah.
you, so when's the like last experience, or like a major experience that you remember feeling energy and realizing that it's not about your external actions, it's about your internal world, and that's the energy that you give out into the world?
Yeah, I think usually I do, like, can notice and think, oh God, I need to just stay away from everyone because I'm really not feeling good and I need
Yeah.
to sort of stay away. But obviously sometimes it's hard because you don't know how to explain that to people, you know, without hurting the feelings or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose that can happen periodically throughout the week, or, you know, things happen, you think, oh, I just want some time alone. But I think the most I've felt energy from others lately with
Yeah.
stuff going on. Like I felt it with my mum when she came round the other day and knew she was like all happy and smiling, but I could tell that she wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I just thought it was just on my mind after she went, because she was like, oh, see you later, see you, bye, whatever. And I just thought, that was weird. It didn't feel right, you know, like there was something
Yes.
odd about it.
Yeah.
But I think she was obviously just a bit worried about some other things that were going on. But
Mm.
she's pretending that she's like, oh, that, you know, totally fine.
Yeah. And
I
I
think
think
that picking up on that is, well, other
yeah.
people.
And it's because a lot of us like ignore our feelings. So your mum she'll know she doesn't feel right, and
Yeah,
probably to kind of cover up that not feeling right or feeling
yeah,
low, she
yeah,
will
just
act more happy
yeah,
to cover it up, instead of going inside and asking herself, what am I doing and what am I
yeah.
doing to cause
What's going
this
on in my
feeling?
life? And
Yeah. Or is it, am I picking up on someone else's energy? Because you don't know, she could be picking up on your dad's energy or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if you don't go inside and check in with yourself, then you will cover it up, but you'll cover it up with the external, but it doesn't go away. Like you said, you could
yeah,
feel it.
yeah. It's not. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's like, well, it's so. I suppose it's suppressing how you're feeling.
Yes.
You're just not dealing with it. So it's like it's not. It is an uncomfortable feeling though when you feel that though, isn't it? Because you
Yeah.
don't want to. You just want. Oh God, just want it to go away. Just want to feel okay again. But it's just going to pop up again if you don't deal with what, you know, the energy of what's actually happening.
Exactly. And also, I don't know about you, but I noticed that when I meet people and they're really like really loud and really happy and really blah, blah, like in your face, I I always get like a weird fit, not off everyone that's like that, because some people are just naturally very bubbly and it's just natural, you feel warmth from them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then there's certain people where I just feel that I feel there's an emptiness in them.
hey,
It's yeah, and it's like they're like an Easter egg, like it's hollow inside. That's what I feel when like it's hollow. I can genuinely feel that, but I used to blame myself. I used to say, like there's something wrong with me, why don't I feel drawn to this person, because
yeah,
they were
yeah,
so loud and happy and friendly.
yeah.
I would think that
Repelled by them.
yeah, but I was repelled because they
Yeah,
were obviously empty inside and they were not on my vibrational level at that time.
yeah, yeah.
Have you noticed that, Jem?
When I was younger and like I'd be around people like that, I'd be thinking, that's making me feel uncomfortable, like, and a bit awkward. Like I felt like they were forcing me to be like them.
Yes.
But obviously, over the years, I just be like, I'll do what I want.
Yeah. No,
But
yes, that's
it
good.
is so I do feel the energy, but I don't internalize it
Yeah.
anymore. But I also struggle sometimes because I am quite loud. You know, sometimes when I do sometimes struggle with very quiet people. I
Yeah,
get
but
their
but
energy and
also
I feel they're judging me, and I internalize them a bit more than someone who's loud.
yeah, but that is also the same thing. Like
It's the same,
so,
isn't it?
some people I've met who are really quiet, I can also feel an emptiness from
Yeah,
them. But
yeah,
some people, I think that people who are probably naturally like introverts, and it's not, they're not quiet because they're just listening, and then they'll kind of, you know, talk. You kind of feel again like a warmth from them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but it's the same thing, just expressed in a different way. When you
yeah,
feel that emptiness from someone, it's because they're abandoning themselves, so they're on a low energy, and you just don't
yeah.
feel drawn to them.
So they might be sort of maybe angry at the person who's being bubbly and whatever, because they're feeling a bit sad about themselves, and sort of the energy might be coming out, and they think they're not doing anything, but they
Yes.
are. They're actually pushing their energy, bad energy and negative feelings onto other people.
Yeah, well, they could be judging themselves, I guess, in that situation. If
Yeah,
it's a really loud person and they're quiet, whether that's naturally quiet or from them judging themselves, because some people
it is.
are naturally quieter than others, but
Mhm.
sometimes the quietness comes from you judging yourself, not because you
Yeah,
naturally like that.
yeah.
So
So in
yeah,
and out sometimes.
yeah,
I
I used to be very quiet, and that
Yeah,
was because I was empty inside, and it was
right.
because I
Yeah,
was judging myself, and it was, you could feel, I could feel it, like I could feel this hole inside of me.
mm,
And I didn't think anyone else could feel it, because, you know, at that time I didn't know anything about energy or about inner work or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah,
You
when I
just thought you were
was,
just there, didn't you? Like not affecting anything. And
yeah, but it does, because people like pick up on it. Whereas
mm,
now I would say I'm still quiet, but
mhm,
I think that's my natural nature is
mm,
quiet. It's
yeah,
not loud and bubbly, and that's not my
mhm,
nature. I don't think I'll ever be like that, and I don't think that's not like the goal for everyone to be bubbly or everyone to be
yeah,
quiet. It's just for you to kind of come into
yeah,
your own self.
yeah. And
Um,
not be like, I suppose it's because we're all judged and stuff, and like we're all made to feel like we're supposed to be doing or acting in certain ways and behaving in
yes,
certain ways, and people don't just accept us for
for
who
who
we
we
are.
are.
So
Yeah,
eventually we start thinking, oh god. So then when we're in certain situations, our energy will be pushed out, because it's like you're being, it's fake, because it's like people who are very very loud and bubbly and whatever, sometimes they might have been sort of pushed into being like that because they thought that's what everyone wants to hit. They want the joker, the class clown, or whatever. They want
yeah,
everyone to be like that, so that's what makes them laugh. But
yeah,
really they become like that all the time, and then it's the energy's fake because
yes,
it's genuine. And
yeah,
that's when they
exactly.
start getting inside, and when you can see like sometimes like people who are like comedians and stuff like that, and then you find out that they've had depression for X amount of years.
And you
Because
can't believe it,
yeah,
because you're like,
like
what?
what? No way.
How? Yeah, and like it's you just look at people and you think, wow, you're so confident, and you know you've
Mm,
got your own business, and you're
yeah,
stunning, you've got a family, blah blah blah, and then they turn around and they tell you like, yeah, I've been depressed for the last 10 years.
yeah,
It's quite shocking to hear it,
yeah.
but that's,
It's shocking, but it's so real. It's so many people are like that, aren't they?
yeah, exactly,
Suffering
and
from
that's,
anxiety and
yeah, and another thing as well, Jem, I don't know if you get this when you go on social media,
hiccups.
but like if I go on social media, say, and I'm looking at some new page that I've never seen before, could be a person, a group, or anything, um, and I get a vibe from the page. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh yeah.
It's like you
Yeah.
can
Get
feel
it.
the
Yeah. I
vibe.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could have someone very similar on my, like who I follow and who I feel a good vibe from. And they could be very similar. But then when I look at this page, there's something that I just don't want to click follow. Like, I just don't feel drawn to them.
Yeah, I've done that before as well, where I've gone through stuff and thought, you know what, I don't know why I'm following this. Like, or I'll see a post and I know that in but I'm not really feeling that, so I think I'll unfollow that. Because I like to think now, I used to just follow, do whatever. Do you know when we used to have all that crap on everything? But we'd just be following anything and anyone, but not actually. When we'd see the post, then we'd get sort of, the energy would be there from that post, would be triggered.
Yes.
So now what I tend to do is just anything that makes me think, right, I feel a bit triggered with that. I'll figure out whether it's because like at the moment now in my life, when I see people that are very vain and completely just about them, I cannot follow them.
Yes.
They've got nothing to add for me. The energy is just vile for me. Years ago, I thought, oh yeah, that's great, because I would have been on a totally different vibration.
Exactly.
But now it's like I'm thinking, no.
There was one of my friends actually sent me this guy's profile one time, because she was like dating him, and she sent me his profile, his Instagram profile. She was like, oh, it's so nice, blah blah blah. And I just looked at his profile and I messaged her. I said, oh, is he a model? Because there was just pictures of him all over his profile. And I just assumed he was a model, because that, obviously, if you're a model, it's your job. It's different.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, he's not a model. He was like a banker or something. So I said, oh, why has he got pictures of himself all, like, not one picture of another person? It was just all him. And I was like, I just don't get a good vibe from it, from seeing his page. I just don't get a good vibe. But I do like to give people the benefit of the doubt. So she's, like I said, meet up with him, blah blah blah, see what happens. Anyway, he turned out to be a very vain person, and was, one of those people who would message and then wouldn't message for ages, and then they'd come back on the scene again. And I felt that from just seeing his Instagram. And that doesn't mean that everyone who posts pictures of themselves is vain, but
because sometimes you could be going through a transition of, like, a lot of young people will be doing stuff like that. Like, we would have done more, especially when Facebook came out. We didn't take pictures. Like, when we were young, we had to take pictures
on a
wait for it to get developed. So for us, it was,
camera.
Yeah, exactly. So for us, it was, oh, this is new, this is great. But now it's like very, very rarely, like, it's strange for me to see now people putting up completely profiles of themselves and all nice and fake and stuff like that. So that if it's a business page, it's very different. But on the personal one, sometimes I can just feel the vibe. And it's funny how when we meet people as well, it actually, I don't know whether we've just become better at reading.
I think we have, to be honest.
Like reading things.
In
tune with it.
I think because the more work we do on ourselves, the more aware we become of others' energy, the more we're aware of our own energy, the more aware we are of, like, everyone else's. And it's, I think the most important thing is when you feel like any negative energy, to definitely go inside and, like, figure out why it's happening. And if you do realize that it's, the other person's energy, you just don't vibe with it. Like, you just don't vibe with it. You don't want to hang around with this person. You'll be polite, but you just don't vibe with them. It's very important not to judge yourself, because I have a habit, I don't know if you have the same habit, but I have a habit that if I don't want to hang around with someone, say I've just met them, or they're a friend of a friend, and I just not feeling them,
Yeah.
If they've not been mean to me, or they're not a mean person, I tell myself it's my fault and that I should want to hang around with them because they're not a mean person.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that came from, but I think that's a really important, if you don't feel the same energy as another person, not to judge it and just accept it.
Yeah, I think so too. Because sometimes it is your gut telling you something, and it doesn't mean like you say, it doesn't mean they're not a nice person. It just means that you're not on the same wavelength. So there's no point, like there's no friendship there. And maybe in a few years you might be on a different vibration together.
Yeah, exactly.
It isn't there, is it?
No. And
I suppose it's the same when people date as well, Kels. You know, when they go on dates, oh well, try and force, oh well, they're all right, they're this, and you know, they try and force it when deep down they know full well that the energy isn't there.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's so true. And I think that's the more you get to know yourself and accept yourself, you will start to accept that it's okay not to be drawn to people's energy. That it's doesn't mean you're a bad person, and it doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that you're not meant to be in each other's lives. Like, it's not in your highest good or their highest good for you to be close, and for whatever reason, because I also think that you've only got so much space that you can have people in your life. You can't have 100 friends in your life. It's just impossible, even though people...
Yeah, we were speaking about that before. It's better to have like a few very close friends.
Yeah.
That you're all in tune with, than a load of people that you don't know whether you know, you're always trying to juggle whether, oh God, have I annoyed them or whatever. Whereas obviously I'd never feel that with you. I think if I have, we'd talk about it. You wouldn't just leave this elephant in the room and next minute, oh God, she's being funny with me. What the hell's going on? We'd talk about it. So that's why it's important, the energy.
Yeah.
Certain people, it's best just to have a little small circle of people, isn't it?
Yeah. And because those people will influence you. And if you're on one energy and you force yourself to be friends with 5 other people who are on a different energy, sooner or later they will influence you in some way. And it's then you're not going to be you anymore. And that's the thing, you need to be around people that support your energy. And you're not forcing yourself into someone else's
Exactly, and that you feel comfortable with, because it's the gut, it's the feeling, everything all joins into one as well. So it's not just about people though. Sometimes it's about the energy, like that we feel, and obviously we've got to be aware of like now I know when I eat Cadbury's chocolate, my energy, my vibration goes down on the floor. And I've noticed, and I've done a little, like, I had to check this and done this over the last few months, and every single time I'm gonna be absolutely fine. Eat that, half an hour later I feel like shit. So I don't know if there's something in it that doesn't agree with me, but it definitely makes my vibration go down.
I get that when I go. Yeah, it is. Food is a big, food and drink is like a big thing, because I get that when I, obviously Cadbury's, but when I eat carbs.
Like fast food sometimes, isn't it?
It's just not normal, just even brown bread, sourdough bread. I got some sourdough bread. I can't eat one piece and I feel tired.
Right, yeah.
So I googled it and it said apparently not everyone feels like that. Some people need carbs, but some people get really, the energy just drops from it because
Yeah.
it's something to do with your glucose levels. They shoot
Yeah.
shoots
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important as well, because so say for example, I just kept eating carbs, or you just kept eating your Cadbury's chocolate.
It's probably the same reason though. I'm just realizing, do you think it's probably the sugar spike or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it's the sugar from because
Yeah.
carbs is the same, it's similar
Isn't it?
effect
Yeah.
as
It's
sugar, isn't
similar.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
So
I feel like that after carbs as well, like pizza and pasta.
yes,
Feel the same.
I never eat. The only carb that I really eat is bread, like the main
Yeah.
carb. Because I never eat pasta, I never eat rice. I just don't feel like I want to eat it, but I do like pizza. So I've started to get this pinza. It's called pinza, and it's like a bread, but it's made mainly of water. I don't know how they do it, but it's like a
Oh,
healthy
okay.
version, and that
Oh,
never makes me feel tired.
yeah.
But there are like even quinoa, for example. If I eat too much quinoa, I
Yeah.
just feel like I want to fall asleep.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting, isn't it?
yeah. So
Yeah.
you're right.
So it is. Yeah, it's the food, the energy that. Yeah, because I suppose it does. It affects us. It affects our mental health
Is there
and
anything
our
else that
vibration.
affects you, Jem? That affects your energy?
It's probably when I've not exercised as well.
Yeah,
My vibration goes right down,
yeah.
really down, and I feel like that's why I've not brushed my hair today. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like, oh, why have I not? It's like I'm in a slump, where you just go through that day where you think, oh, I need to do something, but I'm
yeah,
just not seeming to get onto track, and that brings my vibration down as well. Because
yeah.
I know that if I do a spin class later or a yoga class, I'll feel completely fine again.
Good,
But I'm
yeah.
just in this moment of slump that I've gone too far into it, that I'm feeling a
Mm,
bit. So
yeah,
that's a thing as well for me. My
yeah. That's
vibration.
it is. I'm the same with exercise. I can't if I don't do some form of exercise, even if it's walking for an hour.
Yeah.
If I don't do some form of exercise for 2 days, my energy starts to drop.
Yeah. Start feeling depressed.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
weird.
so, but the reason why it's important, like people probably say, but why do we need to have high energy? Like, why is that really important? And it's so that basically the thoughts we get when we're on low energy are usually like wounded thoughts, wounded feelings.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
they are.
gonna, yeah, and they're not going to help us reach our best potential and reach our best lives. So when we are in high energy from eating the best food, doing exercise, and listening to our feelings and being
Yeah.
around people that are on the same energy level, and we are in high energy, and then we can get the thoughts that come through us that are in our best interest and help us reach our goals and become the
Exactly.
best version of ourselves.
Yeah, it's exactly that, because that's why I'm going to force myself to do a spin class in a bit
Yes,
to
yeah,
raise my vibration up.
yeah. I didn't
Because
want to go out last night. I was supposed to do a run, and I was like, oh my god, I just don't feel like running at all. So I just went for a walk instead, because I thought I need to move something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely good.
Yeah, it definitely does have an effect. So that's a big thing. Food, and then obviously other people's energy. So obviously we can then start being aware of our own energy, can't we?
Yeah,
Because we're in control of that. We can monitor that and see
yeah,
what is causing it. Whereas like years ago, I wouldn't know. I'd probably have a pizza, a takeaway, go out and get drunk and come back, and I wonder why I feel so bad and so negative and so, I'm going nowhere, you know, I'm not
Yes.
doing anything, but it's because I'm in that whatever. So sometimes when that had happened, it made me like, I go completely the opposite way. And then I'd start feeling great and think I'm eating healthy, exercise, doing that. And then one night of that would just bring me straight back down again.
Yes. But I think because we didn't know, we didn't
Yeah, we didn't
realise
know because we
what
didn't know
it
the
was.
cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get it. It was like we were just doing it, and then we didn't realise, oh, when we feel great, it's because we eat well, we exercise, and we spend our time with people who are on high energy.
Yeah.
We didn't realise that then our low feeling came from doing like the opposite thing. We just didn't.
Exactly.
It didn't click.
Exactly. It just didn't, because you just don't get taught that your food is affecting your mind and your what you're doing and your choice, you know, things that's happening around you.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
yeah, but then it's sort of like it becomes a cycle when you're not aware, because it's easy to slump back into it now. Like I've done this for a few days and I'm starting to feel, oh, but I'm gonna pull myself out of it tonight, exercise, and then I'm gonna really get back on track again. But I suppose as long as we're aware,
I think that's the main issue, is listening to you, how you feel. Like,
yeah,
it's
to
just,
ourselves.
listening and being aware.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree. So if anyone has any like comments or anything to ask us, then drop it below, and we can obviously message when we see it. We'll be back next week. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be yet. We'll have to discuss that. Do you have anything else to say, Jen, before we head out?
No, not today.
No? Okay.
I'm going to sort myself out.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Okay. See ya. Bye. Bye.